All right, guys, welcome to week 3. You're going to start week 3 by previewing the vocabulary. So some of your vocabulary is going to come from the article that I picked this week, and you're going to use that vocabulary in the discussion board, and also you'll use it in the lab assignment. So that's what you'll see right after this is the preview for the vocabulary, and then we'll go into the discussion board assignment. This week we're going to be looking at mediums, and you can look at social media. It is probably the easiest way to look at this, and the idea of a Rorschach test. So you're going to be looking at the Rorschach test as kind of figurative. The article gives you an idea of how Rorschach test is now figuratively used. So make sure you kind of understand that, look up the idea for it, read the article because that'll give you a pretty good idea. And then in the discussion board, you're going to be talking about a specific social medium. So you'll pick something like Facebook or Twitter and talk about how it's a Rorschach test and what it says about our culture. Make sure to use 3 of the vocabulary words, work those into the discussion board. This time the discussion board, you will not see anybody's response until you put your own post up there. So don't let that intimidate you. Just get your post up there, and you can always go back in and fix it up if you need to, but remember, this is a class. We're all learning together. Then you have a textbook assignment, so you'll be reading some of the textbook and answering some questions about inferences, because we're looking at inferences this week. Remember, your first discussion board post and your textbook assignment are going to be due Wednesday night. Okay, so by the end of the day, Wednesday. So you'll always have a post due and then one other assignment due on Wednesday. Last week that was annotations and you used it for lab, so I didn't actually have you turn it in. Then you're going to do some practice annotating. I told you in the orientation how there was an article in your course packet I was going to replace, so I found a different article that is a little more relative to our time. The one in the course packet talks about Facebook, but Facebook has changed so much since that article was written a couple of years ago that I decided to use this one instead. So you're going to read this article, I think you'll like it, annotate it up, and then fill in the annotation chart. As you're doing the chart, if you find that you didn't naturally do one of those annotation types, you can always go back and do it and then stick it in the chart. You'll just be turning in the chart, not the annotated article. But I do suggest you print the article out, do the annotations, and then get the chart done. After that, what we're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at what used to be called Google Zeitgeist. They now call it the Google's Year in Search, but it's kind of this cool thing that Google does, putting together like all the searches, what people did, and zeitgeist means kind of the spirit of the times, so it kind of captures like what was going on in 2016. So we're going to be looking at 2016, and you're going to learn what you use what you learned about inferences and apply it to the search results. What kind of inferences can you make about the search results? So I have a lecture there that you can watch on it, and then I have a guided assignment that takes you through the year in search. So you can follow my guided assignment. You can also kind of go and look in the year in search on your own also. They also make a really cool video, so I put that up so you can see each year that they do that. And then finally, you'll take a quiz on chapters 2 and 3. It's an open book quiz. Feel free to use your book. It only takes my students in class about 25 to 35 minutes, so usually we do the zeitgeist and then we move on to that. So you'll be taking that quiz. Again, open book, not real high pressure quiz. I want you to just to see how well you're doing in chapters 2 and 3, and then we'll review that next week. Your lab is vocabulary, so you'll just be doing an inspiration with the vocabulary. As always, if you're having any trouble with anything, reach out to me. I'll get back to you in email. I'll make sure that you understand. I hope that so far you're having a great semester, and I'll see you online.